We are joined here today following the Hofstra field hockey game with head coach Courtney Veinotte. Coach, give us your thoughts following today's dramatic win over Bryant.
Yeah, dramatic is right. It was a great game. I mean, we moved the ball very, very well. We created ourselves many opportunities to finish the ball, and I'm impressed with not only our ball movement but our composure while moving the ball under pressure, and thought that was well executed today. Obviously, a very exciting finish. I'm not sure I've even seen that before, certainly in my days of coaching, but an incredible, resilient effort by our team. And what I'm most proud of, and really one thing I've never underestimated with this team, and this is what I said to them after, is like from day one of preseason, the ability to fight until the very, very last second. And so they get scored on, they immediately brush it off, they bring it together, they calculate this situation and this play that they're gonna, put forward, and they did. So incredible game by Hofstra. Could have put the ball away a little bit more, but a great finish.
Questions?
I know you guys have 11 seconds left in the game, tied up. Why, going in, you would rather just go into overtime and kind of settle it there. But what gave you that team momentum to go in and just score and win the game?
Yeah, it's one thing we're talking about right now is when we get these opportunities of scoring is taking advantage of every single one. And so I think with that, it brings some urgency around the attack 25, which we're creating dangerous opportunities, but we're not finding the backboard. So the ability to say, hey, we just got scored on, it's like to settle to go into the overtime is actually in a way what I was doing. I was creating an overtime lineup because I saw there was 22 seconds. But the ability for them to say, hey, let's give this almost like one last Hail Mary here, is ultimately what they did. And that was on them. That has nothing to do with me. That shows just the grit and the desire to finish games that they have. Very, very proud of that.
Talk about the penalty stroke by Bryant. They had the final penalty corner of the game. They get a stroke. They score on the stroke. What was the thought on the sideline, and what was the thought just between you and the coaching staff?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was on the far side away from our bench, so it did look scrambly back there. And initially he called a goal, so I was like, all right, let's bring this back to a stroke and see. So the strokes are incredibly tough for goalkeepers. It's almost guessing a side and committing your body to try to cover that side. So, Merline now for 2 strokes they've faced in season 3 actually have almost gotten a piece of every stroke. So it's on the sideline I was thinking, okay, let's prepare for overtime and let's see if we can settle this thing in overtime. And we're good with large space. So I was thinking, okay, we're gonna finish this thing in overtime if Merline doesn't get a piece of this. Yeah.
Any thoughts on the injury that happened by the last second?
I think it's just a full gutsy effort, trying to get a stick on the ball, a little bit of contact. I think she basically just got the wind knocked out of her. And then probably the celebratory, slaps and high fives got her. But no, just a mini little asthma attack after an incredible finish of a goal.
Simran Desai, including the game winner, she had what a lot of people thought was the game winner earlier in the quarter. Just talk about her performance today, including the goals scored by Simran Desai.
Yeah, Simi is just a relentless worker in our program. And from day one of being here, somebody that every single day at practice is setting an example of the right work ethic. And Simi's been out here for extra sessions this past week with me, working on goal scoring, working on finishing and receiving and connecting with people around the net. So, Sparrow worked on the baseline and made a connection and got to Simi's stick, and she finished it. And for the gutsy effort and I don't know, but about 48-yard sprint in 8 seconds to get and make contact with the ball. It's a solid little speed you got there. So she's a really relentless piece, and she's very defensive for us, but it's great to see her twice today on the board.
2 dramatic finishes back to back to open conference play and then a non-conference game today. How do you feel that this weekend summarizes the Hofstra field hockey team for the 2022 season?
Yeah, we're fighters, and that is ultimately like you can't teach that. You know, you have to instill it every day at practice. And you know, that's something that I've never had to worry about with this team, is they're absolute grinders. And for us, it's really the next 3 weeks and 4 weeks of these next games, is especially conference games, is really just getting us settled around the net and finding those connections to finish. Because once we start finding those connections, we're going to be unstoppable. We have incredible ball movement. Our backfield is just poised and you know, playing really well together. So you know, we're getting into those scoring ends. We just got to find the backboard ultimately.
If there are no more questions, this concludes today's post-game press conference. Coach, thank you.
Yes, thank you.